The Dream Incubator is an online platform to support other coaches and trainers and healers who are struggling with the business side. We help each other cross-promote and expand our reach as a community, so no one has to go through this process on their own.
Hello, this is Raymond Aaron, New York Times top 10 best-selling author, bringing you Respark Your Life, the world's premier podcast to ignite the fire to allow you to live life on your own terms. Every single Thursday, you will get a new episode, which will be an interview with the world-famous multimillionaire celebrity bringing you great insights, or a 10-minute insight in which I will do a solo presentation on something fascinating that I think you'll really enjoy. After each episode that you like, make sure you've subscribed, make sure you like it, and make sure you tell your friends. Thank you.
Hello, it's Raymond Aaron again, and I have with me a lady who owns a service that's going to shock you. It's called the Dream Incubator. And what she does with this fascinating service is allow you to focus your vision, create a dream, and then incubate it into a thriving business. The Dream Incubator. She's also a podcaster. She's a happiness coach. She's a wonderful, multi-talented lady. I've been working with her for a while, and I'm honored that she has agreed to come on my show. Samia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Raymond. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
So what would you like to talk about? Would you like to talk about the happiness coach or your podcast or your Dream Incubator? What do you want to start with?
Well, I would love to talk about the Dream Incubator. It's my latest project, and I'm super excited about it.
You are, and I coach you in it, and I've been dazzled at how creative you are and how totally dedicated you are to your clients, and also to the coaches that you bring in so that you and the coaches can help the clients. You have such a magnanimous heart. You're so open with your heart to wanting to help people. So in a nutshell, what the heck is the Dream Incubator?
The Dream Incubator is an online platform that I'm creating to support other coaches and trainers and healers who are struggling with the business side of the work that they do, because they might be weak at marketing and sales and other business functions. Because, when I got into coaching and training and healing work, I did it because I have a passion for coaching and training and healing. And I really wanted to help people, but I didn't know anything about the business side of it. And because I didn't know anything about the business side of it, I really struggled for years to reach the people that I needed and wanted to reach to help. And I've been doing this work now for 10 years. I started in 2012. And in the last 10 years, I have been through lots of ups and downs and learned so much about the business side of things. And I've seen problems that are still existing 10 years later, and no one has solved them for us coaches, trainers, and healers in this industry. And so I was so excited to launch this Dream Incubator project to solve those problems once and for all of us.
Samia, that's so needed, because what you're saying is basically what Michael Gerber said many years ago. He wrote a book called The E-Myth, and his famous line is, just because you're an electrician doesn't mean you can run a business offering electrician services. Just because you're a butcher doesn't mean you can run a business offering butchering services. And so what you're saying is that coaches and healers, they're so dedicated to healing other people that they don't even want to think about money. They just want to heal people.
Yes.
I'll do it for free. And it kind of offends them to ask for money. They think it's somehow distasteful to ask for money. And so as a result, They don't make money, and they want to, and it's worth money.
True. That is so true, Raymond.
I'm glad that you're helping healers to feel good about their services, feel good about it so much they can charge for it, but also to know marketing. Just because you're a healer doesn't mean you know anything about marketing and about accounting and about tax and about bookkeeping and all those other mandatory aspects of a business that don't have anything to do with healing people. And
exactly.
Yet they're needed. I know. And so I don't know anyone else who's doing this. You're like the only one in the world. The world's only Dream Incubator.
Well, thank you, Raymond. You know, with the Dream Incubator, there are a couple of really specific problems that I'm especially excited to focus on helping people solve, especially the newbie coaches and trainers and healers, or even people who have been doing this work for a while but still haven't figured out the business side of things. And one of the biggest problems that I see is that, you know, whenever we have an idea for a new product or service that we want to offer and put out there, oh my gosh, it's like, I know for me, so many times I went through the cycle of, I have this idea, I put my heart and soul into putting it out there, but it doesn't produce any results. And one of the big things that I learned over time is that if you put something out there and it's not producing results in terms of lots and lots of people being excited to say yes and taking you up on your offer, one of the things that you may be missing is that you haven't done enough market testing in terms of how you are communicating the value of what you have to offer and who you're making the offer to. Because so many of the times what we are offering is absolutely wonderful, absolutely needed, but we don't know how to communicate about it to people.
Yes.
And so,
or even though we love doing it, it may not be needed by society right now.
Oh, yes. Ahead of its time a lot of times, what we might be offering.
You know, I have a funny way of explaining that. I call it squirrel clothing. No matter how much you love making squirrel clothing, there's no market for it. And
That's true.
I know it's a silly example, but honestly, Samia, many of my coaching sessions, I say to them, how do you know that's a good product to offer? And they have done no market research, none whatsoever, or even if it's needed, they don't know what group needs it. They just want to make squirrel clothing and hope for the best. It's really fun. When you find a hot market, then they come racing towards you. But if you haven't done your research and you don't know who the people are that really want your product, even though it might seem obvious to you, it may not be. You know, I want to tell you a wonderful story.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing you. What am I doing telling a story?
No, please.
This is perfect for your Dream Incubator, and I'm sure that my clients will enjoy this. There was a minor league baseball team in the southern United States that was losing money, and they were losing games, and the stands were empty. So a new buyer came along and bought the franchise, this minor league baseball franchise, and the first thing he did was do some market research on who his clients were. Well, the previous owner said, "Are you nuts? It's obvious who the clients are. They're guys who like baseball. I mean, look at the fans. They're guys who like baseball." But those were the enjoyers of the service. They weren't the deciders of the service. And so when he did his research, he found out that, yes, men go to the games, but their wives let them. And so instead of advertising in magazines for men, like hunting magazines, something like that, or truck magazines, he advertised in women's magazines, And his headline was, "Get rid of him every Thursday night all summer." And women loved it. And they contacted him, and they bought seasons tickets for their husbands to get rid of him every Thursday night. And so it's the women who decided, but the men who go. The previous guy was advertising to men, wasn't doing any good. When he advertised to women, immediately his stand filled up with subscribers. So there's an example of, even though you know it's obvious who your client is, it may not be obvious.
Yes, I love that example. It's such a brilliant, perfect example of why we need to do market testing. And most of us coaches, trainers, and healers don't learn about that. And even when we learn about that, we struggle to actually go through that process.
Because a healer isn't trained to do market research.
That's right.
A healer is trained to have some kind of compassion or connection to a person and to somehow feel what their issues are, or heal them through acupuncture or through aromatherapy or some other modality. But they never learn market research.
That's
and
right.
They never learn bookkeeping. They never learn tax. They never learn anything needed to run a business.
Yes.
I love that you provide that service.
Oh, thank you, Raymond. Yes, and the other big problem that, I'm so excited to solve through the Dream Incubator is this problem of large upfront fees that you have to pay to access this kind of support and these services, to be able to do this kind of market research that you need.
Tell us more about that.
My gosh. Okay. So, for example, when I first started my coaching, training, healing practice, I was literally just starting out with the business. I was not making any money with it. And so even when I started to learn about what was required for me to make my business successful, I had to make investments to grow the business. And one of the big hurdles that I ran into was, first of all, I invested thousands of dollars to take training courses in learning about how and what I needed to do for my business. And I invested so much of my resources in the learning because I understand the value of education, but I stretched myself so thin I didn't have enough money left to then invest in doing what I needed to do to hire the professionals that I needed to hire to help me with the marketing aspect, the marketing research, and the implementation of the marketing. So then I was like, okay, what do I do now? So for a while I tried to struggle through it, try to implement it on my own, and I got very poor results because I was still learning. I didn't really know what I was doing at a practical level, even though I was learning some of the theory. And then so then I was like, okay, I have to somehow get the money. And so I took on that. I used my credit cards to hire a marketing service. And they were charging me like $5,000 a month to just give me access to these basic services of starting to research for my product and my service, the market and how to brand it and all of that. And they told me that I needed to commit to at least 6 months, maybe a year, because that's how long it will realistically take to go through the market testing and development process. And I mean, I did what I had to do in the moment to just make the investments that I needed to make. But I know so many people are not able to afford that kind of investment, or it becomes a hurdle for them, and especially for the newbies when we're not yet earning income from the work that we're doing. It's a big challenge. And so one of my goals with the Dream Incubator is to remove this hurdle of having to invest thousands of dollars in upfront fees to just to access the support and the services that we need. And so
Wow.
I've created I think, what is a very amazing and innovative model for how we can do this work.
Excellent. Wow. 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 Now, what is your goal in the Dream Incubator?
So the big goal is to literally just provide you with the support and the services that you need in order to incubate your dream, right? Which is to coach and train and heal and serve lots and lots of people and make all the money you want doing what you love. So it's this dream that you have, and you want to provide a safe container, a safe space where you can grow it strong enough and big enough so that when you step outside of the Dream Incubator community, outside of the Dream Incubator space, you're ready to go big and fly big on your own. So we do that in a variety of ways. So we get together multiple times every week, and you can attend as many times as you want, of course, and as many times as you need, but we do lots and lots of live events where you get the direct support that you need. You get the hands-on time that you need to work on your marketing and other aspects of your business. So, for example, we have weekly marketing labs where you get together with your peers and other expert coaches that we bring in who have experience with marketing and so forth, and they're able to give you feedback, and you're able to give each other feedback on how to improve your marketing. And then when you're ready to test, because there's multiple levels at which you need to test your product, so getting feedback from your peers is one level at which you test your marketing message. But then you have to put it out in the world and see how, when you put it out in the world, how people react to that. Who reacts to this? To it, you know? And so then we help each other cross-promote our products and services and expand our reach as a community. So no one has to go through this process on their own. And, you know, you get expert guidance and hand-holding every step of the way until you're ready to sort of go big on your own outside of the Dream Incubator.
Wow. What a wonderful service, and what a sweet person you are to offer it. I am now going to ask you an off-the-wall question that you are completely unprepared to answer.
Okay.
But you have to answer it. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes.
Would you rather be a fortune cookie or a birthday cake?
Oh, that's a very, very interesting question. I've literally never had anyone ask me this.
Of course.
For some reason, I'm thinking I want to be a fortune cookie.
Oh, but tell me why.
I think there's something about the fortune cookie. There's that hidden inner message that reminds me of, you know, how we ourselves have this inner voice, inner guidance, source of inner guidance that gives us little clues about what to do and how to be. And if we follow it, then our life improves by leaps and bounds because it's really guidance from our soul, from our spiritual heart. And I think a fortune cookie is a little bit like that, and I love that.
Well, I end my interviews with that just to find out deeply who you are, and I hope that my podcast listeners enjoy how each different person answers that question in a totally different way. Wonderful. Now, tell us how we can find out more about you.
All you have to do is go on my website, which is Academy of academyofthriving.com. academyofthriving.com, and you can learn all about me, and it also links to all my social media, so you can choose exactly how you want to get in touch with me. And you can learn more about the Dream Incubator too.
Wow. And tell us how my listeners can join your podcast.
Just go on academyofthriving.com, and right there's a tab that says podcast. Click on it, and you will be able to subscribe to my podcast.
Well, I have enjoyed learning more about you. I've enjoyed learning more about the Dream Incubator, and I've really, really enjoyed this time feeling your heart of how deeply committed you are to helping your clients through the podcast, but primarily through the Dream Incubator. Best of success with that service. May you help many people, and may you help coaches and healers create thriving businesses and really help their patients and clients.
Thank you, Raymond.
Wow, I sure hope you enjoyed that fascinating episode. Please make sure you've subscribed, and please tell your friends, if you like it, that they will probably like it as well. For your information, this experience, this service, this podcast has been sponsored by the Orbit Coaching Program. All of my friends, all my world-famous speaker friends, all have coaching programs. Mine has been independently rated as the #1 high-level coaching program. You cannot purchase it. You have to audition for it by me personally. If you're interested, please email me at respark@aaron.com. Respark@AARON. Say that you're interested in being considered for the Orbit Coaching Program, and include your cell phone numbers that I personally will call you back.